Oh, here we go.
Represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Hot mics.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Theme of today's show, the only number that matters. Sub-theme, Jason Bible's on the mend. So, finally starting to feel better. Picked up a little cold in Mexico. Who gets a cold in June? This guy. That's who gets one. So, feel a little bit better. Slept most of the weekend. Had a great time. Went to the Skeeters game last night, which is a baseball team in Sugar Land. So, in any case, feeling much better today than I did on Friday, which is good. But today I want to talk about the only number that matters. Before I get to that, there's a rumor out there. We had our bus tour Saturday. Our bus tour is for our passive investor network, our PIN group. We started this group about 10 weeks ago. I've got to go back and look. Maybe 10 weeks ago. In the PIN group, the rumor I heard, it's just a rumor. I'll find out after the radio show. The rumor is on Saturday alone, they contracted somewhere between 20 and 30 properties. I'm going to say that again. The PIN group on the bus tour Saturday alone contracted 20 to 30 properties. Now, who is this PIN group? It's a membership inside of Right Path where we go out and find great real estate deals for passive investors. And like I said, the rumor is we've contracted somewhere between 20 and 30. I don't know the official number. I'll find out today. But here's what I'll tell you guys. Look, we teach flipping and wholesaling. We can teach owner finance because we do. We could teach every way to do real estate. We have a PhD in practical real estate investing. I can tell you how all this stuff works because we've done just about everything. I can teach you how to make a few $100,000 a year, up to $1 million a year flipping and wholesaling houses. But I get way more excited about folks buying passive income. I get way more excited about that. I don't know why. I like it. Here's why. Well, maybe this is why. You can make a couple $100,000. You can make $1 million a year. Whoopie-doo. That's great. What impact is that going to have on your kids? It's going to have a pretty good, big impact, right? My boys, they don't want for anything. I mean, they do whatever they want. Really, they get to do whatever they want. It's amazing. I want to go see, Meemaw, and you want to go see these, which put them on a plane, send them. I mean, it's like, it's an amazing life for them. Now, what about their kids, grandkids? We'll be around, obviously, to see our grandkids, so we'll be able to provide for those kids during our life with a large salary, a large income. What about their grandkids? Here's the thing a lot of people don't realize is that you can build a really great income. You can be a doctor, you can be a dentist, you can be an architect that's got a really big firm. Reality is, those big incomes and those businesses really don't survive more than a handful of generations. 2, 3, maybe. Building passive income can last multitudes of generations. I can tell you this weekend, depending on how many properties an individual bought, we may have minted 1 or 2 millionaires from that bus tour Saturday alone. I shared with you guys at the last free event that we had last month. I did my market update and I shared with you one property that we had that appreciated double We bought it. We were all in for 82 grand over the course of nearly 5 years. We had $85,000 in equity. How many of those properties do you need to buy in order to have $1 million net worth? The answer is about 12. You don't have to buy 100 houses a year like we do. You got to buy 10 or 12. And you're done. People miss this in the message. The most money you're going to make in single-family real estate as a landlord is through appreciation. There's no denying that. Anybody who tells you otherwise is poor at math. You want to get $1 million? Simple. Buy 12 rental properties this year. You will be a millionaire in 5 years. It's not hard. Now, the hard part is doing it by yourself. That's why you need to be a member of RightPath. You do not want to do this by yourself. You got to build a team. You got to have a group of people who know what they're doing. Here's what I can tell you. Let's assume the high number, we contracted 30 properties this past weekend. In 5 years, that's over $3 million in equity. Just from 30 houses. That's what's happening in Houston, Texas. Guys, I pour over the data every single day. That's all I do. All night, literally every waking minute. I'm reading some report. I'm reading some book. I'm reading something about the economy and real estate. I'm looking at past trends. I'm looking at what's going to happen in the future. I'm reading all the brightest minds, even some of the not so bright folks. I'm reading everything. And here's what I can tell you. The more houses you buy today, the more wealthy you're going to be tomorrow. Period. Period. And I'll tell you what, all of the arguments against that are the same tired arguments that I've heard for the last 5 years. And they're all completely false. Depending on how many houses an individual bought on Saturday, if they bought more than about 8, within 5 years they're going to be worth at least $1 million just from what they did on Saturday. I thought we were going to sell like 10, like contract like 10. And I get a call and they said, no, it's between 20 and 30. We'll find out the true number by sometime next week. Passive investing. It's building that rental portfolio. Now, some of you don't have the cash or credit to do that. That's when I recommend flipping and wholesaling. Some of you guys need to earn an income today, flipping and wholesaling. That's really the best way to do that. But for most folks, that W-2 job is going to be the most important thing they've got. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not one of these guys that gets on the radio and says, quit your job. Hey, man, quit your job and run free. That is the stupidest advice anybody can give. I'll give you a great example. Read in Dave Ramsey's book. I believe that my favorite one of all his books. Now, Dave Ramsey got some quirky advice, but this is the best thing he's ever said. Your best wealth building tool is a W-2 income, and he's right. Now, once you get to your number, then we can decide whether we want to keep our job. Again, let's go back to the theme of today's show. The only number that matters. The only number that matters. I get people that come to me all the time. Jason, I want to make 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, 200 grand a month. And I'm like, well, that's great. What's your number? What do you mean? I want to make as much money as possible. Here's the problem with that. We're here in Houston, Texas. We got a lot of guys and gals that are in oil and gas. They're engineers that listen to the show. So let's say somebody comes to me and says, and I say, hey, what's your number? And they say, no, Jason, my number is as much as possible. Okay. What do you do? Oh, I work for such and such oil and gas company, and I'm on the upstream side. I'm like, okay. So I'm the CFO for your oil and gas company. And I'm going to put you on a project. what's the first question you're going to ask me? Well, I want to know, what are the outcomes of the project? What are our goals? And as CFO, I'm going to say, I want to spend as little as possible to get as much oil as I can. Is that a number? That's not a number. How do I know we've met the goal? We're going to put Michael Phelps in the pool. I'm Michael Phelps' coach. I said, Michael, we got to get some more gold medals, buddy. Okay, well, what's the number I got to hit? Nope, there is no number. It's as fast as possible. What do I eat? How many calories a day? No, you need to eat as much to make you as fast as possible. Well, what's that number? Doesn't matter. You just need to be as fast as possible. You see the problem here? You've got to know your number because that number is the goal. I'm going to be speaking at a zillion events this week. I'm going to be here in Houston. I'm going to be in Dallas. I'm going to be doing tonight I'm at the Landlord Workshop. Wednesday night I'm in DFW. Thursday night, I'm speaking my brains out over the next 2 weeks. And I'm going to be at a ton of events. And I already know what the problem is. I see it in Dallas more than Houston because a lot of the folks in Dallas don't know me as well as they do here in Houston. And I'll be networking Wednesday night at the Super Investor meeting at Gillies. And I'll talk to somebody and say, hey, what are you trying to accomplish? I'm trying to make as much money as possible. And I'll say, well, that's great. That's a great rah-rah, at one of these events like a Tony Robbins thing, be unlimited and all that other stuff. But we got to come up with a number here. What's the number? Because if you've got a number, then we can back into what we need to do every day to get to that number. But if our number is as much as possible, that doesn't help. We get back from the break. I'm going to talk about the only number that matters. 713-785-1817. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know, the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you
1
purchase
minute.
properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet
Hey,
Lending
Jason?
has
Yes.
originated over 2,000
Okay, sorry, just making sure you're there.
valued
I'm
at
here.
over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
This is Business 1110.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
Welcome back, Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. This Wednesday in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we will be at Gillies Wednesday night. You are welcome to come. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. Sign up for our email list there. We'll shoot you an RSVP link today. Love to have you guys there. That meeting this will be the third time we're doing it. And, man, I think we're going to break a couple hundred. So it'll be interesting. It's a good event. I'm going to talk about the market, about what's going on in the market. There's so much fear out there. And I'll tell you what, I love it. There's so much fear in the marketplace. I love it. It keeps people from investing. So we just go buy, 20 or 30 houses on a weekend. Got nothing else going on Saturday. Let's go buy some houses, build some wealth. I'm going to say this throughout the events that I'll be hosting or I'll be hosted at over the next week when I'm in front of a room of people. I'll get done with my presentation. There'll be a bunch of questions. There'll be a bunch of people putting on their economist hat saying, oh my gosh, the world's going to fall apart. Blah, 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 blah. It'll be a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'll ask this one question. How many of y'all wish you bought more houses 10 years ago? Everybody will raise their hand. How many of y'all wish you bought more houses 5 years ago? Everybody's going to raise their hand. How many of y'all wish you bought more houses a year ago? And everybody's going to raise their hand. There's your answer. That's it. It's that simple. How many of you wish you bought more property in the past than you have now? Everyone's going to raise their hand if they're a real estate investor. Now, I'm not naive enough to say that real estate's going to go up in perpetuity. That's absurd. But here's what I can tell you. I was doing a little research this weekend, a little international research. Australia is on a 26-year bull market for real estate. 26 years. And I was reading forum post after forum post after Facebook group that said something like this. Well, my wife and I, when we just got married, we thought real estate was going to crash, so we never bought. 15 years later now, we can't even afford to buy a house. And they live in Australia. Vancouver is on like a 30-plus year bull market. What do you do in that case? It just gets more expensive, more expensive, more expensive. I'll tell you a great one. Look at Seattle. I can't imagine if you lived in Seattle for the last 10 years and you said, oh, just wait till the next crash. 3% per month in appreciation. That's 36% a year since like 2012, I think. Now, we're in Houston. We're in Texas. Do I think that's going to happen in Texas? We're going to have 3% a month appreciation? No, I don't. But I will tell you this. We cannot replace the real estate we have at the cost that it cost us in the past. I talked to a buddy of mine 2 weeks ago. new home builder here in Houston. He's got 50 projects on the ground right now. He said, Jason, I can build like before my overhead costs, just strict costs, before even the cost of land, the cheapest, like no frills house I can get is $90 a foot. He said, you know what? I don't even know if I could sell that product because it's so low end. He said, my cost before anything else, before overhead, before the cost of land, is $100 a square foot. Meaning a 2,000 square foot house is going to cost him $200,000 before the cost of land, before the cost of all of his overhead and his staff. It's $100 a foot. Why is that number so important? It means that the neighborhoods that are selling for less than $100 a square foot are going to appreciate quite rapidly. That's what that means. And we're already seeing it. We have seen houses double in value in 5 years. And when people run around and say crazy stuff like, the crash is coming, the crash is coming, I've got so much data here that says this isn't even close to 07 and 08. You know how hard it is for a first-time homeowner to get a loan? When we're flipping houses, one of the things that we require buyers to do is to send their information to Legacy Mortgage. And you guys know Jennifer, she's a sponsor on the show. One of the reasons we do that is because first-time home buyers, it is still a huge challenge for them to get financing. And you'd be amazed how many of these buyers who have gone and gotten a pre-qualification letter from a mortgage company who just gives them a pre-qual through a simple credit check. There are so many different variables in order to get a home loan now versus pre-2007 that a lot of homeowners, would-be homeowners, do not qualify. So the idea this is 2007, 2008 all over again is absurd. And I'll tell you what, I have a real hard time believing anyone's opinion or even entertaining their opinion if they haven't read Aaron Clary's book, An Insider's Guide Behind the Housing Crash. If you have not read that book, let's not even talk about what you think is going to happen at the next down cycle. You do not understand the first housing crash. Here's another little factoid. In Houston, Texas, our median home price continued to increase through the worst real estate crisis that we've ever seen. I'm going to say that again. Prices continue to rise even through the worst real estate crisis we'd ever experienced. Our last bull market was 182 months nationwide. If you think you're going to wait until the next crash, you are foolish, absolutely foolish. I'll tell you right now, I was listening to a couple of shows over the weekend. I listened to a couple of shows today. These are money guys teaching Wall Street, trading, all that nonsense. There are so many studies that say you cannot time the market. It's impossible to time the market. So don't even bother. Don't even bother. I want to go back to the theme of today's show. The only number that matters. Here is the only number that matters. If you are looking for retirement, everybody wants to retire at some point, what's the number? What's your number? What do you mean, what's my number? I want to make as much money as possible. No. What is the number? What's the number? Now, when you retire, that doesn't mean you sit on the golf course all day or sit in the boat and fish all day. That doesn't mean you can't continue to grow your wealth. But at what point, numerically, are you done with the world of work? Now, this number doesn't mean you go and quit your job. What this number is that that your job needs you more than you need them. That's what the number is. A lot of you guys like your jobs. Nothing wrong with that. But what's the number in which, if your industry disappears, or if your job disappears, that you're like, no big deal. Maybe I'll retire. I can tell you this is absolutely true because it happened in my career. When you are, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I don't want to say when you don't care, because that's not true, because you do care. But when you go to work because you like to go there and work, and you like to hang out with the people you hang out with, and you like to do the work you do, it's a very different mindset than having to show up because you need the check. The amount of confidence you have is astounding. You can go to work and, hey, I like being here, but, the minute this becomes not fun for me anymore, I don't have to be here. I can tell you my personal life. It's the same way with Right Path and all the companies I own. The day this doesn't become fun, I cash in all my chips and I go buy a whole bunch more rental property. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm done. Of course, the problem is, what do you do then?
1 minute, 2 minutes.
A lot of people have got this idea of retirement, and it's great to have that number. But of course, you got to know what you're going to do when you retire. But the most important thing is you've got the number. And what is the number? That's ultimately what we're working towards. We're working towards the number. If your number is to, quote, get as rich as possible, that's not a number. It's impossible to plan when you don't have the number. My oldest son now is the second fastest kid in our entire swim team in the freestyle. How did he get there? We first started with a number.
1 minute.
You've got to be this fast to beat the fastest kid. So we are going to train to that number. Now, in effort, we're going to swim as fast as possible. But in training, we know that we're trying to hit this number. How do we hit that number? Then we can back into what do we need to be doing in training to meet this number in the real world. But the most important number is, what's the number you need to retire? When we get back from the break, we'll talk more about that. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has
1
helped
minute.
us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
All right, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate. Got a question on the Facebooks here. What are the top 3 to 4 things I should analyze before buying single-family rental properties? 1.25% rental rate, rental history in the market, equity in the deal. How do I assess possible appreciation rate for a specific market? Here's what I'll tell you. Appreciation is fascinating. The way I look at appreciation, the best way to analyze appreciation in a market, you have to have MLS access. And I'll tell you this is really hard to do, even with the services that can give you comps that are not MLS. And here's why. When you have access to your local MLS, you get all the data. There's not a service out there that gives you 100% of the data. For example, when you go to sell a house, a lot of times you'll have to pay some portion of the buyer's closing costs. In some cases, you'll have to make repairs to the property. That is all in MLS. Whenever I've used some of these outside third-party services, they don't have that data. And that data is really important because what you pay a buyer when you sell a house needs to be deducted from the sales price. Now, I know we're about to get really into the weeds here, and some of you guys who are brand new in real estate are like, what is he talking about? But I want to answer this specific question. You need MLS access. You need to be a realtor. It's one of the things that we are huge advocates of in Right Path. You need to be a real estate agent so you can get really good data. So the best way to figure out what appreciation has occurred, remember, appreciation is something that's already happened. It's happened in the past. The best way to get at this data is to look over a 5, 7, or 10-year period to look at the exact same house that sold 10 years ago that sold last year in similar condition and compare the two sales prices. That is the most accurate way to get appreciation. You look at one house, the exact same house in the neighborhood that sold 10 years ago, that sold last year. Or it sold 7 years ago and sold last year. Or it sold 5 years ago and sold last year. You're looking for the exact same house. Now, that can be really challenging. The next best way to measure appreciation is to look at similar sized houses, same floor plans, same square footage, in the exact same neighborhood in two different time periods. Let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and what's sold in the last 180 days. That is much easier to get, assuming you're in a much larger market. In other words, much larger neighborhood. That's one way to get appreciation. Now remember, we're looking at two types of appreciation. A lot of people miss this. There's two different types of appreciation out there. There's rental appreciation, and there's house, like equity appreciation on the sale of the asset. This is one of the reasons why single-family real estate is light years better than multifamily. The value of multifamily is strictly derived from the profit that multifamily complex produces in a 12-month period. Single-family real estate is extremely attractive and better than multifamily, in my opinion, because you have two types of buyers. You have the investor who wants to know what it's worth today, what it could be worth tomorrow, and the cash flow. And you have the retail owner-occupant who doesn't care what it cash flows, doesn't care about rental rates. You don't have that in multifamily. Only people that buy multifamily are other investors. In single family, those who buy single family assets are buying it to live there or as an investment. And there are a whole lot more people out there that are buying real estate retail than they do as an investment. That's why you see appreciation ramp up so much in times like this, because there's so many more people looking for houses than can find them. So I want to know two numbers when I'm looking at appreciation for a piece of single-family real estate. One is, how much is the lease appreciating? And leases are appreciating. Second thing I want to know is, how much is the value of the house appreciating? Now, as a landlord, why is that important to me? One is, as a landlord, at some point, I may sell this property. And I would love it if I sold this property and it doubled in value in 5 to 7 years. That's a big win for me. But let's say I'm a landlord and I don't want to sell these houses, but I want to keep them. Maybe long term, 15, 20, maybe even 30 years, maybe longer than that. The reason the appreciation on the house is important is because as that house appreciates, taxes, insurance, and sometimes your HOA will follow along with the appreciation of that house. If you're buying in neighborhoods that are rapidly appreciating, you can't assume that your property taxes will increase incrementally. Therefore, possibly decreasing your cash flow. What do I mean by that? I take a case study, and if you guys see me anytime this week, you will see this case study. A house that we previously owned was producing 8.5% per year in appreciation. It was also, the leases were also appreciating 3% per year. What's the problem there? Well, the value of the house is appreciating faster than the lease rates, meaning my taxes were going up faster than my rents. That's a problem if I am trying to cash flow this property. At some point, the value of the underlying asset is greater than the asset's ability to produce cash through leasing. At some point, you are cash flow negative with a mortgage. Let's say you bought it free and clear. At some point, this property is worth so much that its rents have not kept pace with the value, and it won't even cash flow if you own it free and clear. And I can tell you right now, this is happening in areas of Sugar Land and in areas of Katy and the Woodlands and in Friendswood and in Clear Lake, where the value of the houses have increased so rapidly that the leases have not kept pace. And even if you own them free and clear, they do not cash flow. I can tell you where this happened historically over the last 50 years. West U, great example. A lot of those houses in West U 50 years ago, 60 years ago, used to be duplexes and quadplexes. Now, they're teardowns at $1 million. Happens in Memorial. Happens in all nice neighborhoods. When that happens, actually it's happening in Spring Branch right now. It's another great area town where historically great rentals, the value increases so much, taxes go through the roof. It's one of the negatives of investing in real estate in Texas. Our property taxes are absurd. As property taxes rise, the value of the asset rises. It no longer is a great rental property because it's cash flow negative. Now, here's the other side of the story. Because it's cash flow negative, because it's increased in value so much, it's appreciated so much, you could sell that property and make a whopper of a return. There's a positive and negative to this thing. You bought a house 30 years ago in Spring Branch that was a little $500, $600, $700 a month rental that went to $800, $900, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. And now that property is worth $500,000. Well, guess what? It's not cash flowing anymore. But you bought it 30, 40 years ago for $70,000 and it's paid off. Let's say you put some leverage on it. You're all in for $15,000. You're going to sell that thing for $500,000. Plus you got cash flow for 30 years. How is that a bad deal? Answer, it's not. It's a fantastic deal. And that will happen to you landlords.
2 minutes.
Specifically in the markets that we recommend folks invest in. Or maybe a better way I could put it, the markets that we invest in. We fully anticipate these houses out in the burbs, if you will, that today are $125,000, $150,000 houses. Those will be $300,000, $400,000 houses in the next 10 to 15 years. And why am I confident in that? Because it's already happening. We've seen areas in town in 5 years have doubled in value. And I'll tell you right now, it's not speculation because the house is cash flow. Heck, in some of these neighborhoods, I got 25 years worth of data. I got data that says through the worst housing crisis ever, they kept continuing to increase in value.
1 minute.
And their rents went up. So you've got to look at these as on a neighborhood by neighborhood basis. Let's see. Other parts of this question about rental inventory and 1.25% rental rate. I am not really concerned about rental rates as a percentage of the house value. It needs to be above 1%, but I don't get into the 1 and 2 1/4, 1 and 5. It needs to be 2%. I don't get into some of these ridiculous rules. I just look at what's happened in the neighborhood. Can I rent it quickly? And not all neighborhoods rent in less than 30 days. That's kind of a little, you do need to know the neighborhoods in which you invest in. For example, in Spring, some of those neighborhoods for rentals are way oversaturated. We get back from break. We're going to talk more about your number. Any other remaining questions? Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Hey, Brian, in one of our base camp meetings, I can, although I may have done this before, I can go through and show you guys how to find those little markets. I can show you how we evaluate it.
For your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy has CPAs, lawyers, bookkeepers, and estate planners with one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for
1
repair
minute.
is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes
Yeah, Brian, I think this week we're going to talk about in base camp. I'm going to grab Robert Orfino, and we're going to talk about single-family financing. So it's going to be an interesting meeting. Be a little bit different meeting than we've had in the past. But I'm going to spend some time talking about single-family financing and working with our banker and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a good meeting.
The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make.
It's good to hear, Brad.
JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website.
Uh-oh, Tom's got his jacket on, everybody.
That's 281
I just saw him sneak into the office.
This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right.
All right, hot mics.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. So I always get worried because I don't mind getting into like technical stuff during my Facebook Live videos. Oh, speaking of which, tomorrow, 2 p.m., we're going to send out an email, but 2 p.m. tomorrow, you need to be on my Facebook Live account. Just go to Right Path. You can go to Right Path. I'll probably broadcast it there, but it certainly will be on my personal page. You just search for Jason Bible. It's not hard to find. I'm going to interview someone that she had sent me a private message a couple times on Facebook. Hey, I want some help. My husband's about to retire, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to do a live, like Facebook Live counseling, just or consulting, like what I think they ought to do or give them some perspectives, that sort of thing. If y'all are interested in watching that, just go to Facebook Live or just go to Facebook, search my name, and you can follow me. I don't add any more friends because I already got too many friends requests, and I don't want to be like one of those celebrity pages and all that stuff. Just follow me on Facebook. I'm going to send out an email today, and then I'll send out one tomorrow. I'll try and send it with a link. If it doesn't, just go to my personal Facebook page and you'll see it. But 2 p.m. tomorrow, I'm going to do a live kind of consulting session, if you will, to show you guys what it looks like when we have a conversation with somebody about building wealth and income with real estate. So that'll be tomorrow at 2, and then it'll be up on my Facebook page for about 24 hours. So that'll be a lot of fun. Tonight, Landlord Workshop. If you guys are in Houston and you've signed up for the Landlord Workshop, it's by invite only. I'm going to give a presentation on what's going on in the market. That's tonight. I think we start at 6:30 or 7. Can't remember. Just get on the Right Path email and you'll see it. And then Wednesday night's the Super Investor Meeting at Gillies in Dallas. Love to see you guys there. I think I'm going to do a similar presentation for the Dallas folks Wednesday night. Thursday's our base camp stuff. So for those of y'all in our base camp group, we're going to talk about single family finance. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of single family finance. So make sure you've had your coffee and you're plenty of caffeine, because it may put some of y'all to sleep, but it's going to give you the ins and outs of single family finance. And then next week, we've got a whole bevy of stuff going on. Just go to Right Path Real Estate, sign up for our email list there, and come on out to one of our events. Next week, actually, is a Sugarland RIA. If you guys want to see me in Sugarland, I will be emailing that out today, a link to the RSVP. Again, seating is extremely limited. And, of course, members are first come, first serve. So, in any case, guys, thanks for listening. Hopefully, I will feel a little bit better on Wednesday, so it's a little bit easier to understand me. But the only number that matters, guys, come up with your number. What's your number? Let's get everybody into the retirement mode, and then you can decide if you really want to retire. Maybe keep that job if you want to, but you don't have to show up if you don't want to, right? Let's get some freedom. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Thanks for listening. Next time I will see y'all is Wednesday morning, and then I'll see you guys in Dallas Wednesday night. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
All right, Jay, have a good one.
All right, thanks.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at Right Path Real